see where I'm at. I'm in northern Indiana, and it snowed a little last night. There was already about an inch or so of snow on the ground last night when I pulled in here, and it snowed throughout the night a little bit. There's a storm system up north and coming across the Great Lakes and into Michigan, and I guess it's dumping on them up there right now, about 5 inches probably, something like that's what they're called for. And so I stopped just short of that so I wouldn't be in the snow. Wait till morning to drive on up there, right? So I pulled in here last night, and it was forecast to be really, really cold. So what I do to keep, when it gets really cold, diesel fuel will gel, and I don't know, I'm not a cold weather driver. I'm not like from Alaska or Canada, places like where it gets really, really cold all winter long. I bump into it at least once or twice a year when it gets really, really cold. So I was going to show you what I do, and it works. I've never gelled up, so I shouldn't say that because it'll jinx me. But what I do to keep from gelling my fuel is normally every night I turn the truck off and just bear with the cold. It can get down to 30 degrees outside, and that sleeper stays fairly well insulated, and I'm under several blankets, so I stay nice and warm. And when you get up, the cold weather, the cold inside, about 55 degrees inside the cab in the sleeper, it's brisk and it kind of wakes you up when you first get out of bed, so it kind of works as a good thing. And I don't waste a lot of fuel that way, letting the truck idle all night. I know I got a generator. I don't like to run it. Just puts hours on a generator when I got plenty of blankets. So, but when it gets really cold, I worry about shutting the truck off, and then through the night the fuel gets really cold and gels up. So the way I combat it is I just leave the truck running when it's really, down in the teens or colder. And it got down to like low teens last night, 12, 13 degrees, I think. So what I do is leave the truck running, and the fuel circulates through from the pump, comes up to the engine. It uses some of it, but the rest of it sends back to the tanks and recirculates. Well, that fuel's gotten warm because it's up there by the engine, and it recirculates back into the fuel tanks. So it keeps the tanks a little bit warmer than everywhere else. It's not hot, but 20 degrees difference maybe. So if it's 15 degrees outside, 20 degrees difference, it's 35. Hey, fuel's not going to freeze or gel. Okay, so great. Another thing is when fuel gels, from the way I understand it, the way I've always understood it, it's not so much the fuel that gels, it's the water particles in the fuel that freeze. And once the water particles freeze, there's little bits of moisture in there, they freeze, and it gives something for the fuel to start gelling onto. So what you do is you get rid of the water. Well, I use this product right here. For one, it's a little bitty small bottle. Turn it around for you here. FPPF. Okay, right there. FPPF. It's fuel power. It's fuel treatment, and it's a little bitty bottle. You can store it just about anywhere in the truck. It's not these big gallon jugs. And what it does, it's a water dispersant, and this little bottle will handle about 240 gallons. So yesterday I topped off down in lower Indiana, or Illinois, Effingham, Illinois last night, and I put a half a bottle on one side and a half a bottle on the other. That's what I do. Alright, we're on the road. Made a couple calls, called dispatch for check-in call, called the customer, talked to him. Last night I told him, I sent a text message to him last night, told him I'd be up there around about 1 o'clock today. That was my intentions. I woke up about 7 o'clock this morning, and because of logbooks and all that, I couldn't go anywhere until about 9:15. So at 7 o'clock, I just kind of rolled over and fell back to sleep, thinking, well, I'll wake up in another hour or so. Now, about 3 hours later. So I wake up, I don't know, it's about 10 o'clock or something like that. By the time I got up, got around, did all my chores, my morning ritual stuff, whatever, brewing a pot of coffee, that kind of stuff. Got to rolling about 11 o'clock. Well, it's about 210 more miles up to the customer. On a good day, that'd be about 3.5 hours. And from what I understand, I called him and he said they got about 3 inches so far this morning, and it's still coming down good and hard. So they're calling for 5 to 8 inches, he said. Oh, all right. He says, don't worry, don't hurry, just get here safe. And I'd rather have the trailer here tomorrow safely than here today wrecked. I'm like, okay, no problem. As soon as I get up there, if it gets real shitty or whatever, I'll just pull over and deliver in the morning after they clean the roads up. That's the joy of doing what I do. There's no, you got to be here at 9 a.m. You got to be here at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's none of that. Customers like, hey, just get the trailer here safe and undamaged. That's all they're after. So that's what I'll do. I get up there, and if it starts getting all real cruddy and everything, I'll just pull in and go and wait till the morning. By tomorrow, this storm will have moved on. They have tons of snow plows up here in Michigan, so they'll clean off all the roads. Tomorrow will be beautiful. I'm going to go as far as I want to, and hopefully I get there. Hopefully I get all the way up there. But like I said, if it starts getting nasty, just deliver in the morning. So that's what I got going on. We're just coming around Fort Wayne, Indiana right now. This is Fort Wayne off to the right here. And it's about, it says it's 36 degrees. I don't know. It seems like it's colder than that, but I don't know. The weather, like I said, I was looking at the charts last night, and it's a ball of cold came down from Canada, but the south is pushing back, you know. So this frontage line, I drove into it last night, but I think through the night the front has went back north a little bit. So it was like, you know, in the mid 30s or something, you know. And so anyway, it's just one of those weather patterns that are kind of goofed up. But I'm kind of on the edge of it right now, and I'm driving. The farther I go north, the colder it gets. And he said it was like in the teens up there right now. So, you know, it is going to get colder. So, anyway, enough of that. I've jabbered too long. Let's find some of that music stuff and play it. So good too. Hope it just gets off and get right back on. Doesn't look like it. Well, we was making good time until this, so don't know what's going on here. Must have a rig turned over somewhere, maybe. Getting slowed down here. Map. Now, we're on a detour, and it looks like we're going to go over to this other side highway that parallels the freeway. And that's what it looks like to me. All right, see, I'm like right now. See, I'm testing the brakes. I'm actually hitting the brakes pretty hard to see when it locks up. Because even if I lock up, it's not going to put me out of control. Okay. So a lot of little things like this. Hi guys, it's cold out there. There's a lot of little things like that to test the lane to see if it's braking traction or anything like that. Sure, it's slick. It's not like a dry day here, but snow's not that slick. Ice is slick. So what what I do, cruising down the highway, it looks like it's starting to get freezy iced and everything. Of course, I slow down a little bit. Let's say I'm doing 65 and looking bad here, so let's slow down just a little bit. And so I'll slow from 65, I'll slow down to 55. Once I slow down to 55, I'll drop a gear and then nail it and see if I can break traction. The thing about it is, I'm only putting traction to the rear axle, okay, of the tractor. Say I got 5 axles. The third axle, it's the last axle on the tractor. That's the drive axle, unless I hit a switch up here and lock it in. Then it's kind of almost like 4-wheel drive. It's locking the front axle and the back axle together, kind of like 4-wheel drive in a pickup or something. So if I'm driving along and I nail it, and I know that I'm nailing it, and I'm expecting to break loose, I can break that tire loose and I'll see the tack or the speedometer just a little bit and let back off. But it's only breaking that one axle, not the front axle. The front axle's keeping me in line, so I don't, you can't do that in a pickup or a car, because you do that the back axle. It's a little trick that truck drivers have I'm gonna run a stop sign. Oh my gosh. So it's just little tricks like that. When I was coming off the off-ramp, I did. When I was coming off the off-ramp, I was far enough behind any other cars, and I just tapped the brakes a little harder than I need to and see if I can break it loose. I'm testing the friction. Okay, how much traction do I have? That way I know. Okay, and I do that periodically through this kind of weather. Okay, once I get a good idea where the traction is, I can gauge how fast to drive then. And I've always been this way. I always drive a little bit faster than the rest of the traffic. For one, I like to be in the left lane. You saw in several of those videos, or several of the clips there, I'm always in the left lane, even though there's nobody in the right lane. Well, why is that? Snow has better traction than ice. If that right lane is kind of moist and wet and it refreezes, you don't realize, like a bridge or something, that's ice. On the left lane, it's snow. Snow has better traction. I prefer the left lane. I know there's going to be a bunch of drivers, oh, you're an idiot driver, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I haven't died yet, okay? And no, I'm not that guy that goes blasting. If people are doing 30 mile an hour and I go blast them by doing 70. I mean, I'll pass people 5 mile an hour faster than whatever they're going. But I like to be going faster than the other people, simply because other people aren't coming up behind me. I'm always going, I can always see what's coming on. I'm not driving along kind of in a daze, and then somebody goes blowing by me, startling me, right? So I just like to be, that's just my way I like to drive. Also, this truck, because it has such a long wheelbase, I get great traction, and it takes longer for it. If it does kick out, a short wheelbase vehicle spins out real fast. A longer wheelbase vehicle, like a limousine, wouldn't spin around so fast. You feel the tires breaking loose, you can kind of and drift into it. You turn into the steer. It's a slower reaction, or it's a slower action, so you have time to react. So it's just all these little things that truck drivers, or whatever, people that drive in the snow know. People that don't, all you people down there in Atlanta, pay attention. You might get some snow. I tell you what, if it's snowing in Atlanta, stay your ass home. Same in Texas and Dallas. If it's snowing down there, stay home, because it's just, there's no road equipment, there's no icing, de-icing, none of that stuff. We just don't get that much snow, so it's not worth having the equipment. So anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. And I don't know where we're going on this. Let me look on the map here. It looks like we're going to go a couple, 3 miles down the road and get right back on the freeway. There's probably an accident out there. Probably some drum-ass truck driver driving fast. Now, I tell you what mostly happens with accidents that I've seen. A car goes out of control, then the truck driver reacts to the car and ends up going off into the ditch or hitting something or whatever. So, and I don't mean to blame the cars, but that's typically what happens. The car spins out, because I drive along just like normal until I start seeing cars in the ditch. When I see cars in the ditch, I better start paying attention. They seem like they're always the first ones to spin out. Don't know why that is. Small wheelbase maybe, lighter, smaller tread patch. I don't know, but also trucks, almost all trucks have big lug tires on their drive axle. That helps them in the snow, in the bad weather. So, with that said, let's go back to music.